Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor. This is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening. I'm Zachary Balog, and you are watching MediaPlex News Now. In our top story, Windsor auto workers protest new vaccine requirements. Workers took to the streets outside their union hall on Monday in solidarity and to protest the new vaccine mandates, announced last week across Canada. The deadline for compliance is December 17. If workers choose not to comply, they could risk termination. It's crime fighting time, and Constable Sarah Werstein from Crime Stoppers drops by.
The Windsor Police Service Major Crime Unit is continuing an investigation after a pedestrian was located in a roadway with life-threatening injuries and pronounced deceased at hospital. The Windsor Police Service Major Crime Unit have released photographs of 2 vehicles of interest related to this investigation and is seeking the public's assistance in identifying these 2 vehicles. Through investigation, investigators believe that the incident occurred on Friday, October 15th between 6:45 a.m. and 7:15 a.m., and the involved vehicle was traveling southbound in the 700 block of Jeanette Avenue. Through surveillance footage, the 2 vehicles pictured on the screen were observed driving southbound on Jeanette Avenue within the time frame of the incident. It is likely that there is damage to the involved vehicle as a result of the collision. Vehicle 1 is described as a dark-colored compact SUV. Vehicle 2 is described as a dark-colored SUV or possibly similar to a Jeep. Anyone who recognizes either of the vehicles is urged to contact investigators. Investigators are requesting that residents, business owners, or anyone who was in the area to check their security cameras or dash cams for footage that may assist in this investigation. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 519-258-TIPS or leave a tip online at catchcrooks.com. I'm Police Coordinator Sarah Werstein.
Tanks, planes, ships, and more. Canadian toy enthusiasts are coming together for an upcoming show. Ravishan Wajimane reports.
Attention toy soldiers, tanks and planes. This Saturday, Windsor's model builders got to showcase their craft at the 6th Annual Aviation Model Show. Held at the Canadian Aviation Museum, the competition was open to anyone from anywhere. On display were hundreds of finely detailed, historically accurate miniatures of military tanks, planes and ships. Canadian Aviation Model Club President Jerry Taylor says, model building is more than a hobby. It is a way Canadians honor the great military heritage of their country.
And we try to do a demonstration every week, or every month rather. So if someone new to the hobby doesn't know how to do decals or how to put glass in properly without getting glue all over it, this is the type of things we do.
The model displays were in the hangar of the museum, among the preserved planes of the World War II era. These include the famed Bad Penny bomber, which helped Dutch people under Nazi occupation by dropping food instead of bombs. For MediaPlex News, I'm Ravishan Vijayman.
Now is the time to start digging through your wallet because gas prices are only going up. Savannah Mills reports.
It seems that Canadian gas prices have soared to new heights, not reached since 2008. Today in Windsor-Essex County, gas prices range anywhere from $1.38 per litre to $1.48 per litre.
The 3 major causes of high gas prices are supply and demand, commodities, traders, and the value of the dollar. There has been slowed production of oil in the U.S. Despite our oceans of oil in Alberta and Newfoundland, Canada still gets much of its gasoline from U.S. refineries. You can continue to expect paying more at the pump this week. I'm Savannah Mills for MediaPlex News.
Mental health is an issue many deal with, and as Kayla Ternowski reports, some are doing something about it.
This past weekend, Christine Paris, with the help of her nonprofit organization, the Serenity Song Community Association, held the first annual Mental Health Awareness Day Festival.
We definitely had yoga, art workshops. Art Gallery Windsor has a taking care program, which is wellness through the arts. So we did some clay sculptures. We had art through the Provincial Youth Outreach Program.
Paris said that one of the reasons she started this festival was not only to promote wellness, but also to help those who need it.
But I have personal reasons too. I lost a brother to mental health issues a few years back, and it's become my mission. That is why I started this nonprofit.
Paris hopes to be able to hold the event again next spring. From MediaPlex News, I'm Kayla Tarnowski.
Mental illness is something that can affect anyone. Alexa Frazier is here with some tips to help you maintain a healthy mind.
1 in 5 Canadians will experience a mental health problem or illness. Mental illness is health conditions involving emotion, thinking, or behavior changes. Some common mental illnesses are anxiety and depression disorders. 49% of those who suffer from anxiety or depression have never gone to a doctor for this problem. Here are a few things you can try to keep a healthy mind. Make time for yourself and do things you like to do. Whether that is reading a book or playing a sport for an hour a day, do something you enjoy. The next important element up to having a good mental health is making sure you get a good night's rest every night. This can be hard with a busy schedule, but it is recommended you need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every night. Did you know just by physically smiling it releases endorphins and can make you feel better in minutes? Try smiling for 10 seconds within the first 5 minutes that you wake up. There are also resources available through the government like 24-hour helplines and crisis centers. I'm Alexa Fraser, and this has been your Health Minute.
Jack Miner is a local hero and icon. Ken Podishin explains.
During the weekend, the town of Kingsville celebrated their annual Migration Festival, and the Jack Miner Bird Sanctuary also held events on their property, a historical site which protected countless migrating geese and ducks for over 100 years. Miner, known as Wild Goose Jack, is the father of conservation in North America. The sanctuary is open to visitors from dawn to dusk. Normally, the museum is open only by appointment. During the festival, it is open to everyone. I am here at the Jack Miner Museum, where guided tours are being offered throughout the bird sanctuary during the Migration Festival. One guide took a group to Ty Cobb Field, who is good friends with Jack Miner. Lots of children's activities like a trout pond, haystack maze, and lawn tractor rides took place during the festival. The sanctuary depends entirely on donations and is run by 3 part-time and 1 full-time staff members.
We're doing everything we can to put Jack Miners back on the map and a place everybody wants to be.
For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Ken Pastushin from the Jack Miner Bird Sanctuary.
For St. Clair students, there is money to be had. Gracie Lowe's went out to bring you this story.
It's that time again where St. Clair College students can apply for possible scholarships.
Each year, the college receives donations from various places and sponsors to put towards student scholarships and support. Dylan Reed is a first-year student at St. Clair College who is eager to apply for scholarships.
The application process honestly wasn't even that long. Once you get the information, like throughout your personal information and everything like that, it's pretty easy. The things that you would want to take your time on were like the actual personal questions that scholarships the companies look at.
To send in your application form, go to My St. Clair College and click on the scholarship button, and it will direct you to the form you can fill out with all your information. For MediaPlex News, I'm Gracie Lowe's.
After a year of pandemic-related hiatus, Open Streets is back. Alexa Frazier explains.
Open Streets Windsor returns on October 17th. From Sandwich Town to Ford City, an 8-kilometer stretch will be closed from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Street closures include Riverside Drive, University Avenue, and Wyandotte Street. Open Streets encourages people to promote physical activities outside and allows businesses to participate. Monique McNeil thinks it's good for small businesses to participate in Open Street.
I definitely think that the smaller businesses off of Sandwich Street would benefit a lot more from having biking traffic because people are going to be more inclined to go in and drink in the bars, and it might promote more tourism within Ontario if Windsor's known for something like that.
So grab your bike and helmet and explore the different business improvement areas of Windsor. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alexa Fraser.
If you're looking to make plans Friday night, Isabella Spadafora has a solution.
The Downtown Windsor Business Improvement Association is commencing a pilot project, the Night Market, which will begin on October 8th. Debbie Croucher, the executive director of the DWBIA, said they tried to do the night market last year, but COVID-19 put it on hold. However, the DWBIA has hope.
Now that we've been running the market successfully for 18 months, we feel confident that we can do a night market as well.
Croucher said there will be 40 vendors at the night market. There are more than 30 people on the wait list to register as a vendor. Katie Stokes, co-owner of Whiskey Jack Boutique, has a shop located on Maiden Lane in downtown Windsor. Stokes said, "It would be great to see a night market happen more regularly in the downtown core. I love the vibe that events bring to the neighborhood." Croucher said there will be a cross-section of artists and artisans at the farmers market.
So much talent in this region and are selling their products that range from jewelry to baked goods to all sorts of arts and crafts, and it's really neat.
The regular farmers market happens every Saturday on Polisher Street. Expect to see these vendors in October. Brand Dead T-shirts, Yasmin's Shop, Rena's Bakehouse, Whiskey Jack Boutique, What's Popping, Popcorn Factory, and many more. Mark your calendars for October 8th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the debut of the night market in downtown Windsor. For more information, go to the DWBIA website or their Instagram. From MediaPlex News, I'm Isabella Spadafora.
Even through the trials of the pandemic, St. Clair College is thriving. Colin Bannon reports.
St. Clair College has seen an increase in enrollments this year as in-person classes come back. St. Clair College has seen over 14,000 students enroll in this semester, which is much greater than last year, a time when online learning was the norm.
The students are located all across Ontario, from the Windsor, Chatham, and GTA campuses. Over 7,000 students enrolled are domestic students, and over 3,000 are international students. The increase in students has given great opportunities for student-based events to come back, and other things such as sports and study workshops. The COVID-19 pandemic stripped many in-person resources from students back in 2020, but since the vaccination rates have gone up, the in-person learning aspect has come back to St. Clair. Staff at St. Clair hope the vaccination rate will go to be 94% by October for staff and students. For MediaPlex News, I'm Colin Bannon.
As part of an initiative to keep the school free from COVID-19, St. Clair College has given students the option to take rapid tests at home. Gracie Lowe's reports.
St. Clair College has started to enforce new COVID-19 precautions. With the return of in-person classes, students at St. Clair College have had to take part in more COVID-19 protocols to help keep Saints Nation a safe place. In order to take part in face-to-face classes, it is required that students must have one of two things. You must be double vaccinated or show proof of negative COVID-19 tests every 72 hours. Amelia Wilson is a first-year public relations student at St. Clair College who is still waiting for her second vaccination shot.
After I showed them my ID, then they check on their system, see that everything's okay, and then they give me the COVID-19 testing box. Then I'm able to take it home, and then every 72 hours I upload my results and continue on with my day.
Students can get a rapid test kit from Lot T at St. Clair College or at the Garden Center. For MediaPlex News, I'm Gracie Lowe's.
Face to Face, a local cable program where the community's volunteers, politicians, and business leaders chat with host John Fairley, has found a new home at the St. Clair College MediaPlex.
The MediaPlex is welcoming back Face to Face. Today's guests are Mayor Drew Dilkins and City Councilor Reno Bordelin. Face to Face has been airing for over 20 years, and host John Fairley has conducted over 800 interviews.
What are they thinking? What do they want to get out of that guest? What is the question that they're, and it could be something that's in the news that they want further explanation on. It could be something that, is in their neighborhood. So I kind of look at the news and see what's going on at the time I interview someone.
Fairley has had guests from local business owners to Spitfire hockey players to award-winning photographers. Mayor Dilkins has been on the show many times and welcomes the opportunity of being in the MediaPlex.
As politicians, we can lay out ideas, and then that will generate, you're the delivery agent to get to the public, who then generate the conversation and the dialogue. And before we actually have a debate at City Council, people are at least mildly interested and somewhat informed. And if they're really passionate about an issue, they come and they present to City Council and express themselves.
Watch Face to Face Tuesdays at 7:30, Wednesdays at 6:30, and Saturday and Sundays at 12 noon. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alexa Fraser.
And now a look at the weather. Back on this date in 1982, the National Weather Service reports an early fall snowstorm dropped 3 to 12 inches of wet snow over the southeastern corner of South Dakota. But no snow in our forecast. Wednesday, a chance of showers and a high of 22. Thursday, a chance of showers and 17. And on Friday, a chance of showers and a high of 13. So what do you know? Well, I'm going to tell you in this report. Have you ever driven down Sandwich Street in Windsor and seen an old windmill and wonder, why is that there? Well, I'll tell you in this installment of Did You Know? According to the city of Windsor, in the 18th century, numerous wind-powered grist mills stood on the shore of the Detroit River between Sandwich and Tecumseh. During the War of 1812, it was said that American General William Hull commandeered flour for his troops from the mill before his retreat from Sandwich. The mill you see behind me is a replica of the old mills that once stood at this location and was erected in 1992. The more you know. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Balog. COVID-19 has caused some businesses to close, but as Albert Sharp reports, some are dressing for success.
A young entrepreneur is making the most of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite many small businesses being forced to close their doors following pandemic shutdowns, 19-year-old Alex Hagan decided to take this time to pursue her dream of opening her own small business.
Well, the old saying is the best time to open a business is during a recession, or whatever that old saying is. But there have been a lot of ups and downs along the way.
Located in Show Studios on Monmouth, her business is dedicated to helping people find that one piece of clothing they can't find anywhere else. Because no matter where you go, you need to dress the part. For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp.
Cryptocurrency is a mystery to many of us. We have this report by Bernard Duvall.
The bank did it again. Raised their costs. Transactions take ages and cross-border transfers are riddled with regulations and hidden costs. Isn't there a better way of doing it?
An increasing number of people are raising this question. Cryptocurrency, best known for Bitcoin, is attempting to offer a solution. But what does it offer?
It's anonymous, quick or quicker than online transactions, operates on basically incorruptible software called blockchain. It's regulated by users and not the bank or government, and up to now, not taxed.
Here in Windsor, Ontario, 3 different entrepreneurs specialize in the 3 different components of cryptocurrency.
All 3 got into the space because of their frustration with the banking system, but mostly they've entered the $700 billion industry, hoping their respective efforts will unearth a digital gold mine. Kevin Roy, a builder by trade, mines cryptocurrency as a hobby.
Well, mining is working for a reward. You want to plug in as much hashing power as you have, send it towards a coin, and you get compensated in that currency.
Ian France markets and sells a coin called ProCurrency, created for a developing online shopping platform.
For a coin to truly be successful in a currency, it needs users, usability, and a purpose.
Joshua Ndolo, a University of Windsor economics graduate, launched the company Amani. They use the open source technology that underpins all cryptocurrencies called blockchain.
We allow for cross-border transactions between 2 parties, and it's very economical. It costs about $3 when a bank would take $80. It takes you about a day when a bank would take 3 to 4 business days.
Dr. Muharrem Kanyev, University of Windsor Associate Professor of Law, has his reservations about the sudden rise of this trending, unregulated private currency.
What advantages does a cryptocurrency offer an ordinary consumer, and what value proposition does it provide an ordinary consumer that an existing fiat or national currency does not have?
Similar questions were asked of disruptive and mostly unregulated innovations such as Airbnb and Uber, taking a combined bite of almost $1 trillion out of their respective legacy industries. Will cryptocurrencies do the same to the banking system? Cryptocurrency is not the first private currency, and there's a reason why they vanished.
Why did government get into the currency producing business in the first place? Government didn't get into this business because they wanted to get into this business or curb freedoms. They had to get into this business because there was too much economic uncertainty involved with private currencies in the past.
If it bothers you, paying 40 cents for a cup of coffee in the morning and $4 that same afternoon, advocates for cryptocurrency won't just say you're getting it wrong. They'll say you're just not getting it. Let's take a step back. Where does cryptocurrency come from and how does it work? We'll use Bitcoin as an example.
A number of Bitcoins were released by the maker. As the coins are traded, the transactions are encrypted onto a ledger. The process of encryption is performed by miners, whose computers solve these encryption problems called hashes. The computer that solves the transaction block first is rewarded for its efforts with a predetermined amount of Bitcoin.
The transaction blocks on Bitcoin take a minimum of 10 minutes to solve. To create a fake one, you'll need to start right from the beginning. It can never catch up to the one everyone agrees is the right one.
Roy grew a profitable mining operation. The equipment he bought online with digital currency with proceeds from mining.
Yeah, well, I just mine whatever's most profitable at the time. There's a calculator online. Basically, it tells me what's most profitable like at that moment.
He's been averaging around $1,200 per month. Roughly 25% goes towards electricity.
As long as I've been in it, it's profitable. You can make 10 times the profit one day, and then a month later, you're making a tenth. It's pretty much a game of throw the most hardware and money at it and you get a return.
It was essentially designed to serve the interests of vendors.
Roy doesn't agree with Kanyev that it's all a vendor-centric model with little or no value to the average customer. But then Roy isn't the average customer.
So if I want to go out for dinner, I can go on a site called coincards.ca and buy a gift card for just about anywhere in Canada with crypto. Restaurants, Home Depot, bookstores. Bitcoin only has value because people decide it has value.
No one understands this better than entrepreneur Ian France.
Now it's just a matter of being able to implement a day-to-day currency that people can use. There's 1,500 coins that are sitting out there, and I would venture to say that 1,400 plus are crap.
The iPro network sells incentivized investor packages ranging from $100 to $6,000. Half of the value of your investment is given back to you in the form of pro currency. Investors are educated in how to open online storefronts where the pro currency is slowly introduced in the form of a rebate system.
They've combined this currency with the education to teach people to open their own stores, accept the coin as well, along with all the major retailers. So they've developed this ecosystem to keep people there utilizing the coin.
The coin's success relies on mass buy-in. France realizes that for this to happen, he needs to forsake some of his libertarian leanings.
I believe that some sort of centralization, some form of regulations will benefit the actual overall digital currency industry.
In the long term, the problem that might arise in a scenario where online storefronts only accept pro currency is monopolization, where the store is the bank, is the user's online wallet and exchange.
Are we simply exchanging one set of intermediaries with another?
All cryptocurrencies are trying to become more consumer-centric. A central characteristic of technological development, however, is its unpredictability.
There's a development of blockchain technology, which is something quite apart from the cryptocurrency aspect. And I think that is what is going to have more staying power in the long run.
The potential of this digital innovation was embraced by Joshua Ndolo, the Kenyan national who came to the University of Windsor on an athletic scholarship to study economics.
There was no easy way of transferring money to and from Africa. So I said, why not just try and build an app by myself with my friends? And that led to Amani.
Clients have jumped at the chance of doing cheap blockchain-supported transactions on their platform. Ndolo acknowledges that cryptocurrencies are currently a speculative and dangerous trend.
Because if you have so many people buying into this trend, buying into this craze, you inflate the price, and that could lead to a lot of misfortune. For someone in the Western world who's lived in an environment where the financial system actually works and is functional, but not see the necessity for a new way of doing finance.
It might very well be a marginalized economy that paves the way towards global adoption of cryptocurrencies.
So I think you'll have a lot of countries that have been left back due to their access to financial instruments. It could be a mass movement. It could be an economy that adopts it and does really well, and others look up to it and say, well, they're doing really well over there. Why don't we adopt it over here so that we can keep up or learn from them?
Kanyev is concerned about the absence of consumer protections. If a vendor refuses to reverse a transaction,
I can call my credit card company, they can reverse the transaction, they can help protect my interests. If I'm buying something with cryptocurrency, I'm essentially sending cash in the mail. And I don't necessarily know who I'm doing business with.
but to Ndolo, that's exactly the purpose of peer-to-peer self-regulation.
So anybody who's unethical, anybody who's immoral performing transactions will all be able to spot you and maybe stop doing business with you. Until now, the banks had been doing that. They would check who was fraudulent, they would check all this stuff, but now they don't need to. We can do it for ourselves.
The anonymity and absence of a central regulator are what make investing and using cryptocurrency attractive. It's not impossible that this libertarian utopia can come crashing down in the wink of an eye.
If this becomes more widespread, and if this looks like that it's going to be a vehicle for tax evasion or excessive tax avoidance, then governments will become involved.
The nature of the internet and blockchain is open source and self-regulated, instantaneously evolving sharing platforms. Their very existence is completely dependent on an inclusive and active participatory user community. Out of these reciprocal interactions, a consensus is reached on the value of cryptocurrency.
Despite looming legislation and extreme fluctuations in the value of cryptocurrency, there is money to be made, whether mining, trading, or buying shares in cryptocurrency businesses.
Natana Mutarasu is a smart woman, but more than that, some may even consider her wise. Let's listen.
Hi, I'm Nantana Mutarasu. Welcome to my podcast, Do Not Worry. In today's episode, do not worry about wisdom. Wisdom has fallen victim to the era of instant gratification. We're too impatient, we want everything now, and we're immediately feeling defeated searching for this wisdom. Even Siri can't find it. Siri, find wisdom.
That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
The answer lies in the right question. I always ask myself, what's the lesson am I supposed to learn here? No, don't tweet that. Wisdom is about seeking, not tweeting. Put it this way, a flower bud never worries about the arrival time. And just like wisdom, when it arrives, it's the right time. You just have to keep going. Okay, if you're still all about the instant gratification, go to your nearest Timmy's, buy yourself a donut, inhale, take a bite, and exhale, do not worry. You will have the sugar needed to figure out your next step. Thanks for watching. I am Nantana Mutarasu. See you in the next episode of Do Not Worry.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zachary Balog, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.